Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and a machete. This is nutty, it's Michael. This is Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and a machete. This is nutty, it's Michael. I'm Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and a machete. This is nutty, it's Michael. This is Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and a machete. This is nutty, it's Michael.
What's going on YouTube? This is Versus Loco, the motherfucking Horde Cholo. Back at it again, giving you more content. Like I said, I'm trying to come back as much as possible. Alright, so we're going to jump right into this and we're going to go right with some bad boys with Vinegar Syndrome. First up, we have Extro 3 with this beautiful limited edition slipcover right there. Original art right there. It's actually a really fun movie too. I did get a chance to watch that. Pretty cool stuff. Next up we have Zombie Island Massacre. Another really cool slipcover right here. Also limited. All these, anybody that's watching this knows these slipcovers are limited. And that's the original art right there. And this one I actually did get to watch also. And this one was a fun time as well. Enjoyed that as well. Next up, we have Hollywood Horror House. Slipcover front and back right there. Original artwork right there with original name too, Savage Intruder. Didn't get a chance to watch that one yet, but excited to do so. This one, man, I wish I could have got it with the slipcover, but I'm just not willing to pay the price that people are asking. And unfortunately, when it was released, I did miss out on it. But we have Terror. Was able to get this without the slipcover for really, really cheap. So glad to have that one there. Next up, we have Decoder. This one I started to watch. It's a real art house movie, so I just was not in the mood to watch that at that specific time. And I believe it's in another language either, or they just had really thick accents I could not remember. But I do need to double check this out again because I have heard good things about that. I'm glad to have that one there. Next up, we have Flesh Eating Mothers. This one I have not got a chance to check out yet, and I'm very excited to do so. It looks like a good time. Original cover right there. Cool stuff. Next up is another one that I've heard nothing but good things about, but I have not got a chance to watch it yet, and that's the Candy Snatchers. Awesome slipcover right there. The original artwork there. Cool stuff. Next up we have The Passing. It's so light on there, I couldn't see, I forgot what it was called. But we have The Passing right here. I've heard this was a really, really slow movie. I do want to check it out, but I just haven't been in the mood for a slow movie right now. But yeah, got The Passing right there. Alright, so that's going to be it for my Vinegar Syndromes. Next up, let's go straight into the Scream Factories. Not too many, but a few. We got Pet Sematary 2, and a lot of people talk shit about this movie, and it's like a gem to me. I don't know why, but I love this movie. Lots of fun, good movie. Next up, we have Brain Dead. This is another one I've heard really good things about. I have not got a chance to watch it yet. Yeah, this is early 90s, 1990 actually, so yeah, cool little era right there. Need to check that one out. Next up, this is funny. I used to watch this film all the time on the Betamax, and I used to love it as a kid. So I figured, one, it's a collector's edition of Scream Factories. I try to have them all. I'm a completist when it comes to that. But at the same time, I wanted to revisit my childhood, and we got the Garbage Pail Kids. And I honestly have no idea what the hell I thought when I was a kid, because this movie was way out there. Not the business anymore at all. But glad to have that in the collection regardless. Next up, one we actually just got in the mail the other day is April Fool's Day. Cool artwork right there. I missed out on the poster on this one. Kind of mad about that, but life goes on. Got that right there. Next up, we have Frankenstein, The True Story. It's funny, when I pre-ordered this one, I like all these old movies like this, but I really thought that this was a Hammer film, and it's actually a TV film. It's like 3 hours long. But I watched the first half, really, really good, and I just finished the second half, but really cool movie. Liked it. Next up, we have one Severn that I was able to get for a really good deal, and that's the Uncanny right here with slipcover. Pretty cool stuff. Original artwork right there. Glad to have that one. Have not checked that one out yet either, and looking forward to checking that out. Move those up a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna go into more of like the mainstream kind of stuff right here. But I did want to get this, and I kind of been running through these as much as I possibly can. But I got the Steelbook of Tremors, all the movies, all 6 of them in here. Pretty cool Steelbook. Glad to have all these on home media. Glad to have that. Next up, this one I've had my eyes on for a long time. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, and I got Evil Dead 2, the Steelbook, the FYE exclusive. Really glad to have this. This thing never went down in price, and it finally went down in price, so really, really glad to have that one there. Next up, we have 2 4Ks that I actually got from Hamilton Books for dirt cheap. Very happy to have both of them. But I got Stormship Troopers right here on 4K. Glad to have that one right there. This is a hell of a fun movie. I love this movie so much. Such a good movie. Next up, we have Christine, John Carpenter's Christine. Yeah, glad another one I got dirt cheap on Hamilton Books. Hamilton Books, everybody. Dirt cheap. So glad to have this one right here. Another John Carpenter movie to own, and that's actually a really good movie as well. Next up, we have 10 to Cloverfield Lane. Oh, this movie. The first one was really, really good, and this was just a massive, massive disappointment. Literally had nothing to do with the original until like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Not the business, but I still want to check out part 3 now. I still haven't seen that one. Next up, we have Shudder. And this one, it's funny, you know, when The Grudge and The Ring came out, everybody was raving about those. No one ever really talked about this one. I actually quite enjoy this movie. Good to have that one in the collection. Next up, we got to have Predator 1 and 2. Predator 1 is a classic. Part 2, I have not watched in a long time. I know Danny Glover was in it. Yeah, excited to check the second one out. I already revisited the first one. Next up, we have End of Days. And actually, as we're filming this, I actually just got done watching this movie. And I forgot how good it was. This is a good movie right here. Cool stuff. Glad to have that in the collection. And then next up, this one's really not even horror, but I figured I'd just put it in there with that stack. It's going to be The Mummy. Just got this one the other day for like $5 at Walmart. Cool stuff. Glad to have that one there. And then now we're going to go into, that's everything that I got since last video, which I know last video was maybe a couple days ago, but that was filmed a long time ago, or not too long, but a while ago. But now we're going to go into the stuff that is non-horror. So if you want to stick around, you can. If not, thank you for watching. But next up, we have Rambo on 4K, the new Rambo right here. Pretty good movie. I thought the one before this was a lot better, though. Next up, we have Uncut Gem, Adam Sandler's new movie, and this movie was such a trip, man, such a trip. If you've never seen it, I'd say at least give it a try, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good movie. Pretty cool stuff. Next up, with everything going on right now, we have Contagion. Everybody, if you're not watching this movie right now, what are you doing with your life? There's nothing else to do. You need to watch this movie. Check this shit out. Trip you out. Next up, we have A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Tom Hanks. This movie was not what I expected, but I did enjoy it. I don't know if it's, I'm big on rewatchability when it comes to movies, and I don't say the rewatchability factor is there too well with this one, but it was a really good time watching that movie. Pretty cool. Next up, we have Alpha Dog. I've been talking about needing this movie for the longest time, and I finally got it for dirt cheap too. So, but glad to have this one right there. Cool stuff. Next up, also from Hamilton Books, dirt cheap. I think this thing was like $5. Is Taxi Driver. Robert De Niro's Taxi Driver. Actually, just watched this movie the other day for the first time. And, you know, people rave about this movie like it's the best movie they've ever seen. And it was good, just wasn't that good. But it was cool. Next up, we have The Cable Guy. Wanted to get The Cable Guy. Big Jim Carrey fan ever since I was a little grasshopper. So glad to have that one right there. Next up, we have My Cousin Vinny. Also another one that I grew up on. Love this movie. Great stuff right there. Next up, we have Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. Another one I used to watch as a kid all the time. Glad to have that right there. Next up, we have Malibu's Most Wanted. What can I say about this movie? If you haven't seen this movie, you're sleeping. Next up, we have White Chicks and Mo Money. Mo Money, man. I love that movie so much. It's a good one. White Chicks, tried to watch it the other day. It's not as good as I remember. But excited to check out Mo Money. Next up, I'm a proud member of the Disney Club, and we have Frozen 2 on 4K right here. And then here's up, I just threw my woman's title in here that she got, but she got Crazy Rich Asians. So that one's also in there. So that is everything that I've picked up in the last, I'd say maybe a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, something like that. So thank you for watching. More and more content coming. Thank you for watching. Boom.